Hello and welcome to today's webinar, CQI IRCA Certified Training Understanding the Changes. Today with myself, Victoria Sadler-Keane, and my colleague Adam.
Hi there, Victoria, and welcome to everyone on behalf of everyone here at the CQI. This presentation will hopefully go some way to explaining the changes that we're making externally for our training partners. What I hope to have achieved by the end of this is for you to have a better understanding of the reason why these changes are happening, but also the way that the new structure will be rolled out with our current clients and our training organisations.
That's great, thank you Adam. And we've also got a guest speaker, Vince Desmond, who's our acting CEO. So a little bit about the agenda. We've got a short word from our CEO, as I mentioned, and we'll come on to that in a moment. Adam will be talking about the background and the need for change, and a little bit about the new portfolio and the changes that we've put in place. And then we'll be going through some frequently asked questions from some of our audience. So first of all, I'm going to pass over to Adam to share a video from Vince, who will tell you a little bit more about the background and the opportunities of the new L&D portfolio.
Yeah, so for the next 5 or so minutes, please take some time just to listen to a pre-recorded message from our CEO Vince, which explains the context and a little bit about the changes that we're making, and then I'll go into some more detail following the presentation. Thanks.
Hello. This year sees a transformation in the CQI and IRCA learning and development offering. And I want to help you understand why this is happening. Firstly, it's important to understand that the customer for CQI and IRCA training courses is industry. It's employers who mandate and pay for certified training courses. And it's employers who recognise, mandate and often pay for professional membership of the CQI and IRCA. With this in mind, the CQI established a corporate partners scheme to better understand the voice of industry and the voice of the employer. This, along with the voice of our members, has informed our priorities. What did they tell us? Well, firstly, that the profession has a credibility problem. We need to reposition the profession to ensure it's delivering value for employers. Secondly, industry has a capacity problem. Employers are finding it increasingly difficult to attract, develop and retain quality professionals. And thirdly, industry has a requirement to develop awareness and skills throughout the business, from the boardroom to their supply chains. In response to the need to reposition the profession, the CQI and IRCA developed a competence framework. This sets out not just the competences required, but the business benefit that the profession should be providing to their organisations. The profession protects reputation, ensuring that organisations avoid the potentially disastrous effects of things going wrong. The profession enhances reputation, helping organisations optimise effectiveness for the benefit of customers and stakeholders. The profession improves the bottom line, maximising efficiency by eliminating unnecessary cost and waste. And finally, the profession transforms, driving change to achieve the above. The competence sets out 5 competence areas, and 3 of those are technical. Good governance, ensuring the organisation has taken account of all customer and stakeholder requirements and is capable of delivering them. Agile assurance, ensuring that the organisation is actually delivering on these. And improvement, ensuring that the organisation's business improvement and transformation activity aligns with its strategy objectives and the outputs of assurance. But employers are adamant that the key to delivering that benefit lies not in the technical scope of governance, assurance and improvement, but in the leadership skills that the quality profession displays. The quality professional must now be a true business partner, helping organisations plan for success, not as people who check homework or are called in once a risk has materialised. It must reposition itself as a strategic weapon, not a cost. In response to these requirements, the CQI is transforming its L&D portfolio. To this point, we've had 3 forms of learning and development: CQI qualifications, IRCA auditor training courses, and our own CQI training, the latter often competing with you, our learning provider. This year, we are consolidating this into one learning offering to deliver the following benefits. Firstly, to support the need for flexible capability development within industry. Secondly, to provide the learning pathways for individuals that reflect the modern set of skills reflected in the competence framework. Indeed, it is not appropriate any longer that the de facto qualification for a quality manager is the IRCA Lead Auditor course. We must provide a holistic offering that helps individuals and organisations understand the full scope of skills and knowledge that is required of the modern quality business partner. And this is reflected in the new CQI IRCA Learning and Development portfolio. To make this a reality, I know that the CQI has a role to play ensuring that we work with employers and industry to ensure that our L&D offering meets their changing needs and to generate demand through our industry engagement. One major change you will see later this year is a single CQI IRCA website in which we can promote our holistic set of professional standards and learning and development portfolio. I also recognise that the relationship with our supply side, you, the learning partners, must change. Historically, this has been tactical, and we need to move to a place where we better understand your requirements. For this reason, you will note that we are now viewing you as learning partners, not training organisations or education centres. And we've improved our account management to support this. The changes we are implementing are significant, as is the opportunity. Industry globally requires a new approach to competence, supported by a new approach to learning pathways. The CQI IRCA L&D team is here to help you understand and navigate these changes over the coming months. Thank you.
So that was a word from Vince, our CEO. And now I'm going to hand back over to Adam, who's going to talk a little bit more about the changes and the need for change. So over to you, Adam.
Fantastic. Thanks very much, Victoria. And I'd just like to go into a little bit more detail regarding some of what Vince just touched upon briefly there. Go into some of the details regarding the competency framework, and also to look at the learning and development portfolio in greater detail. But as Vince touched upon briefly, the competency framework is split into 5 sections. And the first of these being governance. What we mean by this is ensuring that stakeholder requirements are met and that management intent is defined and fit for purpose. So we focus on top management, organisation stability, and also the support systems that are in place for businesses. The next section that we move on to, the next area of focus is assurance, and what we mean by this is that policies and processes are in place to meet those requirements that were set out in the governance section. So a focus on management systems and also quality assurance processes are a key here. Moving on to improvement, and as Vince said within the video, we are promoting a culture of continuous improvement within organisations and looking at evaluating them from the top down. This can be measured both qualitatively and quantitatively, and what we hope is happening here is total business performance. improvement. Feedback from employers was that they wanted their quality professionals to understand their role within the organisation they worked in, and ensuring that governance, assurance, improvement is being effectively implemented. So that's what we mean by context. And finally, what we found out from employers was that they required their quality professionals to become leaders, and that their behaviours maximise and influence a culture of evaluation and improvement throughout an organisation. And as you'll see from this slide, this is the governance, the competency framework in its entirety. So completing the cycle, the diagram explains the work that we've done over the past few years and gives you the holistic view of the competency framework. So to focus on the need for change and really to lead into the next section, which is to do with our learning and development portfolio, we wanted to create a truly effective learning portfolio that embraces all of the aspects of the quality profession. So rather than just purely focusing on auditing, we wanted to look at quality in its entirety. And to do this, we've brought together the knowledge and capability requirements of our two membership brands, which historically have sit apart from each other. As Vince mentioned in the video that we just watched, we're bringing both of those organisations together now, one website to reflect this, which is one website that looks after our CQI members, so the skilled professionals who are in charge of implementing quality management systems, or QMSs, and IRCA auditors, who are the experts who evaluate the effectiveness of those management systems that have been put in place by the quality professionals. Our aim here is to really help these people become better at their jobs and progress through our membership grade structure, and I'll talk more in a moment regarding how our new L&D portfolio supports and reflects our member grades and our structure. But it's worth pointing out here that the CQI is the only organisation in the world that can actually offer this recognition. So we are the most trusted within that global quality community and are in a good position to be able to deliver these messages moving forwards. And now we come on to the new L&D portfolio, or the new learning and development portfolio. The first thing to mention here is that the new learning portfolio is a modular system, and it's designed to address an individual's skill set or a gap in their knowledge, looking at the quality professional as a whole. And the new portfolio is there for every stage of a career. So some of our topics include risk management, problem solving, and specialist modules around management systems as well. And we split these up into three different areas. As I said, a range of courses for every stage of a career. So foundation, and those who are new to quality. Practitioner level, which is focusing on aspiring middle managers, or those who maybe quality is more of a day-to-day task. And then our professional level, which focuses on those already in management but that want to address a specific skills gap. You'll notice here that our IRCA courses all sit nicely within these three different levels, and this has been really interesting for most of the organisations that I've spoken to face-to-face so far. In terms of moving forwards with your IRCA courses, nothing changes except for the following, which is that the foundation courses map into the foundation level, the internal audit courses map into the practitioner level, and what's been a relief for most of the organisations we've spoken to so far is that the auditor or lead auditor courses and the conversion courses, you won't lose those titles. They essentially just map into the professional level. We developed and tested the portfolio in collaboration with our corporate partners and some other leading businesses around the globe. We've also gathered other stakeholder feedback. For example, training organisations within our annual survey were asked about these changes. So we can say with confidence that industry leaders have validated this approach, that there is a market for the learning products across a wide range of sectors, and these are trusted and verified with employers within all sectors. So the benefits of becoming an approved training partner of the CQI, and I'll go into a little bit more detail regarding this. We want you to be able to deliver certified training that's recognised by 2 world-class brands. So therefore, really focusing on integrity and the fact that your training will have a huge impact in the wider world. These are courses that employers want, and within the downloadable documents that you'll find at the end of the presentation, we have some testimonials which back up what I'm saying today during this presentation. Another key benefit for organisations has been the fact that with the new portfolio, they can offer flexible and tailored courses. So they'll take generic, broad-based criteria and shape it around your client's needs. Further into 2017, we will look to do the same with IRCA criteria. What we hope is a knock-on effect of being able to deliver flexible and tailored courses is that there will be an appeal to a wider market of delegates, so not just those involved in auditing, but the entire remit of quality. And finally, you can be certain that if you're delivering our courses, they meet the standards of a chartered body. So it gives you peace of mind that what you're offering delegates is of high quality, and that what you are providing lives up to the standards of a chartered body. In terms of the commercial model itself, we do understand this has been a significant shift for most of the organisations we've spoken to so far. First and foremost, we've moved to a per delegate levy fee, which is now collected monthly instead of biannually. This is collected via our online portal, which you will gain access to once you become an approved training partner. There's no charge for course certification. The major change in relation to the current IRCA process, and no charge for assurance activities. So if you are a current IRCA training organisation delivering a number of courses, this will no doubt come as a massive change for you, and hopefully you'll see the benefits of the reduction in assurance activities. There is a small annual fee per course, and also a levy fee per delegate, which will be explained via this table here. It's all, as you can see, it's all very easy. So for our foundation courses, there's a £20 per delegate levy fee with a £200 annual fee, a £25 fee for the practitioner, and a £250 annual fee, and £30 for the professional with a £300 annual fee. And what that means is that say you run 6 lead auditor courses at the moment, you will pay one annual fee of £300 regardless of how many lead auditor courses you run. Moving on to the assurance and the integrity side of things, because not only is there a change in the way that we collect levy fees, but there's also a change in the assurance process. What we've done is we've embedded the highest standards of assurance into our learning and development process. So we do realise that current IRCA policy is very prescriptive and reliant on on-site surveillance, and therefore very expensive for the training organisation. And it also provides just a snapshot of quality and places the burden of assurance solely onto the CQI rather than onto the provider. We choose our training partners with care and ensure that they meet our high standards, and we want to put you more at ease because our assessment process is still extremely rigorous, and it's very tough to become an approved training partner. We realise that our assurance process is not a one-size-fits-all. We're now moving toward much more of a risk-based approach where we will focus our attention much more on organisations who pose the greatest So for example, a new approved training partner or those that we receive negative feedback against. This ensures that the CQI accreditation mark remains trusted and that the brand is not undermined by substandard providers. And by moving emphasis in the assurance process to the provider rather than the product level, we've now simplified the assurance process to save you time in getting new products to market. And what we mean by this is the focus is now very much on inputs and outputs. And inputs include course design and tutor competence, and also a breakdown or a self-assessment of an approved training partner's BMS system, and outputs as well, which focus on course delivery and delegate feedback. So by focusing on inputs and outputs, we actually bring the focus back onto the competency framework, but also onto the training partner or the approved training partner themselves. This slide here is a testimonial from one of our corporate partners, a lady called Paula Quinn at Nuvia. As I said, these slides will be available for you to download, as will all of these testimonials from our corporate partners. And what Paula has done is she's aligned her internal policies to the competency framework, which has had a knock-on effect with her employees within the quality department at Nuvia.
That's brilliant. Thanks so much, Adam. That's really helpful. I've got some questions here from some of our attendees here, which I'd like to put to you, if that's okay.
Of course. Yeah, fantastic.
So the first question I've had in is how long are the courses?
The courses are anywhere between 8 and 40 hours, and again we split this up into the 3 different levels. So our foundation courses are anywhere between 8 to 16 hours. This is indicative because we realise that courses may run for longer than this, which is why we've given a sort of an indication as to how long they run. But foundation courses 8 to 16 hours, practitioner courses 16 to 24 hours, and professional courses 24 to 40 hours.
Oh, that's really helpful, thank you. The next question we have are about what types of courses ATPs can offer.
Well, as I mentioned within the presentation, some modules include risk management, problem solving, but what we're trying to do here is really give you the reins. So what we're doing is providing you with generic criteria that's tailored to your client's needs. And the idea is that the approved training partner will take that generic course content, produce their own course around their client or the industry that they need to, and then send it to us for certification.
Sounds good, okay. And then there's a question coming around the ATP portal. You mentioned that briefly earlier. Could you talk a little bit about what that is and how ATPs will be able to use that?
Absolutely, yeah. It's this is a really interesting question because it is something new that we've provided here. Essentially, the Approved Training Partners portal is a unique access area for our approved training partners. This is an area where you can upload delegate data, which is incredibly easy as via an Excel file. There are many other downloadable documents within the portal. Such as course specifications, logos, branding, a few different marketing tools, and it's your own unique access area where you can actually promote your courses as well. So think of it a bit like a Facebook page, or for a company, or a Twitter account. It's where you can go and upload all of your information and make your courses available to the wider market.
Okay, that's great. And then the final question I have here is about how do we apply? So for those interested in becoming ATPs, how can they do that?
It's an incredibly difficult process, Victoria, as you know. All we ask our approved training partners to do is simply sign a partner agreement, and you will be essentially made into an approved training partner. We need to know, by the end of this year, we need to know exactly what IRCA courses you intend to run next year, and also we will review review where you are in terms of the course, in terms of delivering some of our quality courses, and provide a way forward for 2017 and beyond.
Okay, that's great. So that actually sounds really, really straightforward. So that's really good to hear. And for those of you that want to know a bit more, we've got some downloads available after the webinar. The first one is a bit more information about transferring over to the new model. So for those of you that want to move across the ATP scheme, there's guidance in there. And there's a fact sheet, so it summarises some of the points that we've made in this webinar for you to take away and have a read. We've got some more FAQs, so the questions I posed earlier are in there, and there's a whole host of others. So, and that's a really useful document for you to review. And then finally, we've got a document which covers off a few more case studies, so you can see examples of employers who have been exposed to the new ATP scheme and think it's really interested. They're excited about what we're doing, so that'll be really interesting for you to have a read. So finally, if you have any questions, please get in touch with Adam.
Please do. Yeah, I'm here to answer all of your questions moving forwards. We've met with some of the larger organisations so far, and this presentation is actually aimed at those organisations who maybe are an affiliate branch or need some explanation behind the changes. But feel free to forward all of my details over to whoever you feel would benefit for this, and I look forward to hearing from you in due course.
That's great. So all that remains is to say thank you so much for attending the webinar. We hope you found it really useful. I hope that the documents that you can download afterwards are useful as well. But as Adam mentioned, if you do have any questions, please just get in touch with us and Adam will be able to help. So thanks so much.
Thank you.